it was probably midway through the movie, and it was the New Year's Eve scene was the first thing I ever remember seeing, and I was really young. I was probably, like, 6 or 7 years old. So, what an intro.
All right, audience. Well, welcome back to another episode of Core Memory, a podcast about movies. I am your host, Cortney Warner, and joining me this week, I'm so excited. It's the absolutely hilarious, multifaceted artist, dear friend, recently engaged, Allie Thomas.
Hi.
Oh my God, what's up, Allie? Thank you for doing the show. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. This is gonna be so fun because this is also not only are Allie and I good friends and we never run out of things to talk about. Uh, we
Mhm.
uh we this is the first time that I've had a guest who both of their picks are the same movie, which is really cool. And honestly, it's a pretty great movie to have as both of your picks. Audience, Allie brought us today the classic critically acclaimed Forrest Gump, everyone. Oh,
Wow.
hell yeah. Bam! Allie is wearing a shirt
Bang.
for the audio for the audio folks. Allie is wearing a Forrest Gump shirt. It's awesome. And I'm just gonna go through some quick stats for the movie and then we'll get into it. So audience, everyone knows Forrest Gump, but Forrest Gump came out in 1994, directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Sally Field, among so many other people in this movie. I mean, movie's inescapable, honestly. It's such an institution. So, Allie, can you describe the first time you saw this movie?
Yeah, I was at my grandma's house, and it was her old house in the country, what we call it, and it was probably midway through the movie, and it was the New Year's Eve scene was the first thing I ever remember seeing, and I was really young. I was probably, like, 6 or 7 years old. So,
Yeah. Oh my
what
god.
an intro.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that New Year's scene is so classic, but that's what sticks out to you. That's really funny. Um,
Well, 'cause I heard that she tasted like cigarettes, and I was like, "Oh, my mom smokes cigarettes."
like, "Oh, a connection." That's a core me
Yeah.
that's a core memory right there for sure.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel that, Forrest Gump impacted you, like, as a kid and as an adult too, since it's both your picks? How do you feel this has, like, changed your life or impacted you subconsciously or consciously?
Oh, that's a really good question. Man, am I at a job interview? It's crazy.
I know, I do I Now tell me about your greatest weakness. Well, my greatest weakness is my greatest strength.
Yeah, it's Forrest Gump being
Yeah.
both picks.
Yes.
Um, I were just related to a lot, being from rural Western Kentucky. I
Mhm.
mean, a lot of that was very similar to what I saw growing up. I think it taught me a lot about, um, acceptance of different people.
Yeah.
Good good stuff.
Yeah, all
Should I
good
get the
things.
job?
Yeah, yes, you're hired. You will not be voted off the podcast. No, I'm with you on that too because I was texting with you earlier today. Like I haven't seen this movie in like 15 years. It's been a really long time since I've seen this movie and so I kind of forgot a lot or you kind of forget certain things beyond remembering the highlights and stuff and it's so impactful. Like it's Tom Hanks acting in this is honestly like incredible because when you're watching it you're just like all right, like he's doing his thing, whatever, but then, like, those moments where, like, the emotion comes out, it's just, like, it's gut-wrenching, you know what I mean?
It is. I think it's another reason why it's one of my favorites is because it's so funny, but it's
Mhm.
it's so sad
Yeah.
at the same time, and I like that.
I know, I was gonna say comedy and tragedy, a little that's, were you a
Yeah, who would
tell me
think?
yeah, tell me you're a theater major without telling me you're a theater major.
Yeah, basically.
I really like this movie a lot too, because I love the soundtrack of it where it's like the music is just straight banger after banger. And I was
Yes.
doing some research before our podcast too, and the soundtrack like was like the top selling album one of the top selling albums that year, and you know, and then on top of the movie being highly successful. I mean, they definitely make a story about a woman dying of AIDS very cheerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think for a long time, I didn't know what she had or, like, what was going on because I was a child.
Yes.
And so, like, that being my favorite movie growing up, people were like, "Oh, interesting choice, 8-year-old." You
Yeah.
know?
Like,
I'm
"Are
like,
you
"I had
okay?"
no idea."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I like Alabama."
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
telling you that scene, at the end that killed me was where when he, he sees Jenny again and he finds out he has a son. First off, so funny where he's just like, his daddy's name is Forrest too.
Sweet man.
I know, like, he didn't think
Ah,
he and it's like, it only takes one time for us to and
yeah.
then for him to realize that, and then for him to be like, is he smart, and and it just that emotion, it just God, I started crying because like,
Yeah.
uh,
Is he smart or is he like
yeah,
because he's, like, so self-aware in that moment that you, like, hadn't heard him be before,
yeah, and
really.
right, because you think, like, he goes through life and he seems like very everything is so positive for him. That was, like, that first time where you see him be like, reality hits him where he's just like, is he okay, And I think a lot of people can probably relate to that to some degree of, like, if you have, like, family or anything like that, it's like, "Oh, I don't want certain parts of me to be passed down," you know what I mean? Or asking, like, I want better for my child too. I'm not saying that he had a bad life, but also just, like, being concerned of, like, have I inflicted this child, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think
yeah.
about that. I think about that with my pet cat, honestly, you know?
Hmm.
I'm like, "Am I giving her anxiety?" She's literally asleep. Her butthole is facing me right now, so she is perfectly
Oh,
fine.
I asked Archie if he wanted to come in here, and he said yes, but we don't need that energy, he's too much.
I was gonna say, he's like, "Put me on camera, mom. I'm ready to be the star of the show."
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned the scene, with the New Year's Eve scene, as being the one that you remember, but do you have a favorite scene from this movie? Now, as a kid, did you have one that stuck out to you, and also as an adult, do you have a favorite scene from this movie?
Um, I do like when Forrest meets little Forrest, like,
Yeah.
it's so sweet, and, like, watching Big Forrest, like, be a dad is awesome, like, you watch Forrest grow up and you're like, "What's this adult gonna be like?" And then he's, like, the best dad ever,
Yeah.
and the similarities between the 2, um, I love, like, the almost flashbackness to Forrest's childhood and
Mhm.
then with little Forrest, like, when he gets on the bus and he's like, "Hi, my name is Forrest Gump, and you must be" and whatever her name was, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's what he did."
Yeah, like, that's in the movie, it's in
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
it's so good, and also, I forgot too that young Haley Joel Osment plays Little Forrest. I mean, that's
that's great.
absolutely stacked cast, it's crazy, and now,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'd say that's probably one of my favorite scenes too, 'cause I feel like the movie it is like this epic story of this man's entire life, from, like, a small town in Alabama, but also there's a lot of, like there's a lot of stuff about the movie that I don't think should work. Like, he runs across the country for that's, like, a chunk of the movie, but then that's how he gets back in touch with Jenny and, like, all that stuff where it's like, this stuff shouldn't work, but it does, and I think due to the acting and the direction and all of that, obviously, but, yeah, I think that scene where he meets Little Forrest and reunites with Jenny is so good,
So good.
and then the wedding was so good too, I love that scene.
Yes. I really love what you were talking about earlier when they meet and he goes to watch TV,
Yeah.
and I think about this line probably once a day. "What you watching?"
Oh,
Bert
yeah.
Bert and Ernie, and then,
Yeah,
uh,
the head tilt. Oh.
it's so good.
It bums me out that him and Jenny couldn't have, like, a good life together longer, you know what I mean? 'Cause I think a lot of times people paint her as the villain, which, I mean, yeah, she did, like, she but also I think that didn't love herself, so she didn't think she deserved a good life that Forrest would have given
Yes.
her. I think anyway.
I was gonna bring that up too. People always villainize Ginny, but she had a lot going on. She battling addiction. I mean, she didn't love herself. I think she got scared.
Mhm.
She didn't know I think also she was kind of scared of, like, her reputation, honestly, like,
Yeah.
if I love Forrest, I wanna be with Forrest, like, what will people think about me?
Yeah.
So,
I
I
think
mean,
so too.
in the end, she does the right thing, you know?
Right.
I feel like calls him up, but
I think so
I don't know.
too. I know, I think that's, like that's something that's so, like, tragic. That's something that makes it's I think makes for compelling storytelling too. It's like these 2 figures who are in love with each other, but for whatever reason, they're not together, and, it's all over decades long of their, like, friendship, and then they're friends, but then they're not together, and yeah, I think that she worried about her reputation, and also I think she just was homegirl was struggling. I feel like she had a lot on her plate, top to bottom, where it's like, "Oh, this poor girl," like, she had or just all of it was really rough, so I think people don't always take that into account when they, like, criticize her in the movie. So, why is this still your favorite movie?
It's just stuck with me for so long. I became obsessed with this movie in, like, late elementary school, early middle school. I I had this piece of paper that I would write down every Forrest Gump quote I could think of on, and, like, I would randomly would think of something like, "Ah, here I have a piece of paper." This piece of paper was so, like, soft from being worn out from being folded and unfolded out of my pocket every day.
Oh,
What was I doing? I don't know, but I still love it a whole lot.
yeah.
And
That's
I don't know, like, Tom Hanks is a great actor, and it's nostalgic for me. It's a comfort movie. It's a good time.
Yeah, I feel that where it is like I think that it is one of those unique movies that falls into being like probably like a comfort movie for a lot of people, while it's still being like not like a fluffy movie, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, it's a comfort movie, but like you think about like a one that doesn't maybe have as many one that isn't probably as critically acclaimed and also doesn't have as many like really harsh truths to it, you know? Um, and I think, like, man, I remember that year and I don't remember that year because I was 1 year old and you weren't born yet.
I was not.
So, I remember reading about the Oscars race that year. It was like that year, it was like Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, I think Saving Private Ryan, like all it was just banger after banger. So something in the water in 2000 in 1994 for sure.
Almost said 2000. No,
No, it wasn't 2000.
1994. Yeah,
94. 2004, I think, brought us Shrek 2, so it was still just as good.
just as good. Still
Yeah.
another banger.
Just as critically acclaimed, and oh, which brings me to another question that I have that also kinda ties into the Shrek movies too. So do you have a favorite song from the movie slash you have a favorite I guess they call them needle drops in movies where it's like favorite song just in general and favorite, like, favorite moment in this movie where a song was used? That could also be
Oh,
the same song.
I should have done my own research before this because I don't know the names of anything. Because with this movie being so, like, nostalgic for me, when
Mhm.
I was so young, I didn't, like, know these artists or these songs. So, still to the point of this day, I'll hear songs from the soundtrack, and I'll be like, "That's in Forrest Gump," and everyone's like, "Yeah, that's so and so," and I'm like, "Yeah, Forrest Gump."
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Dude.
uh, I like what's playing when Ginny is having, like, her big moment, like, in the
Mm,
hotel room with the Coke and the ledge, like, I like that song.
yeah.
Whatever that is, folks, that's the one.
Yeah, you know what, audience, I think do your own research. You can look that up
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
Don't make us spoon feed you all the information, like, what do you want?
Yeah. What do you want from me?
Yeah, I mean, what, you're listening to a podcast about movies and we're not giving you all the facts? Fucking figure it out.
We're telling you to watch the movie.
Yes, that is a great ploy. That is a great that's a great way to reframe it. It's like, you know, or this is how you're gonna get you to watch the movie, not because we don't wanna look something up.
Not because we're lazy, because we're trying to get you to be cultured.
I just feel like the songs were just they're just played so fast, you know what I mean? Like, it seemed like
Yeah.
every other scene had a different, like, classic rock song or something in it. But, it's funny that you say that, like, you have music that you remember from Forrest Gump, even though it's, like, a very well-known song. I was that way for the longest time too because I didn't consume I didn't know how to consume. I couldn't find music that wasn't like Christian music basically growing up.
Yeah.
But movies and TV shows were kind of accessible, like with the library. 'Cause I was just like, you go to a wall of CDs at the library. What do you pick? You know what I mean? But like for me, it was kind of the same deal where it's like I remember the longest time that the song "Yeah" by Usher, I thought that song was written for the movie Hitch, starring Will Smith. And it wasn't until I got to college, where I was like, "Oh my god, you love the movie Hitch too?" And they're like, "What?"
What?
And I'm like, "Yeah, the
Yeah.
scene where he's teaching him how to be like a cool guy," and, they're like, "No, this is like one of the most popular songs ever made."
Like, right, right.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
questioning.
it
Yeah.
was a bit.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you knew what was going on. Yeah, I know you're DJing the party, but I wanted to make sure that you knew what song this was. So what would you say to people who have never seen this movie? How would you pitch it to them?
Oh, well, I think we've already said it, like, comedy and tragedy all in one. I mean, you're getting this wholesome story of this man's whole life, love and loss.
Lu
Like, I'm
Lo Lost Lieutenant Dan, what more do you want?
the 3 L's, damn it, like, come on. No, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's I don't know, I love it so much that I've, like, run out of things to say, but I'm like, it's just a good movie. When
no,
people say they haven't seen Forrest Gump, I am shocked.
dude, I know, it is shocking to hear because because again, I think it's just one of those movies that's just been in the zeitgeist for so long, and, like, there's still people making memes from scenes in the movie. It's, like, still, like even just, like, rewatching it today, I was like, there's so many other movies that came out after that made references to Forrest Gump. Either, like
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, Life is a Box of Chocolates, like, that's very popular, but, like, one that I noticed because I recently rewatched, Toy Story 2, um, for the same purposes, of why we watch Forrest Gump, but, for the podcast, and there was a line that Slinky Dog says where he's like, "I know I'm not a smart dog, but I know what roadkill is."
I love that.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's in a scene where they're trying to get to, they're crossing the street to try and go find Woody at Al's Toy Barn, and they're trying to decide, like, "Oh, is it worth, crossing the street with" like, they have, like, those orange cones on them and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Slinky says that, and I'm like, "Yeah, even with the accent, like, that kinda Southern drawl," but that's just one example. There's so many movies that reference Forrest Gump, but,
Yeah, it is still very heavily referenced. I mean, SNL did a Forrest Gump sketch a couple of years ago
mhm.
with Mikey Day, like, perfectly dressed as Forrest.
Just
I
the
have that photo saved somewhere because I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
my
but
my faves collide." So,
I love it. No, because I feel like for if you get something parody on an SNL, even if it's something old, I feel like that still means that somebody because their whole thing I feel like is what's in the zeitgeist, like what's going on, what's trending. For them to be like, I have a Forrest Gump sketch that I want to put in, on national television. It's like, oh, that's still there's it's still with maintains a lot of cultural relevancy.
yes. Yep. Definitely.
But man, it is crazy. So I broke up watching the movie in 2 parts because I fell asleep last night, not because it was boring, just because
Wow.
I was so tired. So I fell asleep around the New Year's episode, around not episode, around the New Year's scene too. So I woke up and I had to finish. In between work today, I tried to finish watching it, and it did feel like I was watching it for the first time in a lot of ways. Because just being able to revisit how because it's easy to distill something like this down to being like just being able to make fun of it or pick it apart for the things you don't like about it. You know what I mean? Because that sticks with you. But then when you watch it as a full piece,
No, I like it a lot. For a while, this movie, like, oddly shaped my, thoughts of American history because I would watch this movie so frequently and so much and so intensely that I'd be like, "Yeah, all these events definitely happened within a couple of years of each other." I would, like, forget that, like, this is a Hollywood movie and they
yeah,
can do anything, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, what was it?
Viet-
JFK,
Vietnam.
Vietnam, like, all this was in, like, 6 months,
Yeah.
right?" Like, messed myself up.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I totally get that because even well, yeah, rewatching it, I was just like, damn, they really packed a lot in like in the course of like a 2-hour movie. Because it's like I get that it's like him. hitting the highlights of his life, you know what I mean? And, like, talking about but it's I was like, "Yeah, he did go to Vietnam. That was" and, like, that was a big pa then he also opened Bubba Gump Shrimp, you know?
God, I remember the first time I ever went to Bubba Gump Shrimp, and I was young. I was probably middle school. I what a nerd. What a place to take me. I'm, like, walking around taking pictures of the memorabilia. I'm like, "This is the dress that Jenny wore." It's probably not the same one, but I'm, like, freaking the hell out. And then I have, like, a picture of me where you can stick your shoes in the shoes outside, but this isn't, like, 2017,
Yeah,
so I'm, like, too old to be doing that, but
yes.
I'm eating it up. God.
I love that,
Oh,
I've never been to a Bubba Gump Shrimp. I didn't even realize up until kind of recently that it is because of Forrest Gump. It's not I was like, "Oh, this is kinda like a Joe's Crab Shack or whatever." I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I was just like, "Oh, it's like maybe like from the people that made Joe's Crab Shack or Red Lobster or whatever." It's like, no, this is literally because people love Forrest Gump so much.
yes.
Is are there any in Tennessee? There has to be one around here somewhere.
Uh, I've only been to ones near the Gulf, like in Alabama or Florida. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
that makes sense. And you know, what a shame if we only could look it up, but we're not going to.
No. Figure it out.
Crazy, you know, you figure it out. Well, I'll pull a force and I'll just start running until I find one.
Alright, see you later.
Yeah, I'm gonna start running now. I
Bye.
if there
There
isn't one if there isn't one within less than a mile, then I'm not run then I'm out of luck. 'Cause I can't run that far.
well, you might as well just stay seated 'cause
Yeah.
there's this restaurant in Murfreesboro that almost got me. There's a restaurant in Murfreesboro called Bubba Gampy's,
Oh,
and I was like,
okay.
you
Nope.
losers."
I thought you were gonna say Toots.
No, I do
Is
love Toots though.
I was gonna say, I
But
feel like what's the lore with Toots? I gotta know because it's a fucking funny name, but everyone I know who lives in who's lived in Murfreesboro or lives there has been there. They're like, we don't mess around with Toots. We love
food
Toots.
and fun. Their mascot is an oyster for a
What?
landlocked restaurant in Tennessee.
So you have a restaurant called Toots. The mascot is a euphemism for a vagina. Why did they just call it queefs at this point?
I'll pitch it to him
Oh my god,
next time I'm down.
it's like they had like they were trying to make a butt version of Hooters called I think called Pooters. I think it's and
Coo
now they're
Cooters.
Cooters and now so it's like they should have it Toots and Queef. Yeah, you have a fart from the front hole and fart from the back hole.
Alright.
Oh, your
The
parents are
highbrow podcast.
your parents are gonna listen to this too, right? I'm sure all your whole
I don't
family
know. My
all
parents
your
don't know what
family.
podcasts are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's like, why would I listen to the radio pre-recorded?
My mom is always like, "How can I get Netflix on my cable TV?" Like, "Well, that's a mystery."
I don't think anyone can no matter how many Google God, that's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Man, but yeah, I've never been to a Bubba Gum Shrimp. I would like to go at some point because I like shrimp. I fuck with seafood for sure.
I like
Um,
I didn't expect myself to like seafood as much as I do, because my dad always hyped it up too much growing up,
mm, yeah.
but I do like it.
Yeah, that is
Mm.
some, like, rural area shit though too. Because my family was always like, "Oh my god, seafood is such a luxury, it's so fancy."
Yes.
And it's just as we lived in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, where it just wasn't that accessible, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Which makes it all the more questionable, like, why does this place have oysters?
dude, I know.
What? These are not fresh?
Yeah, like this they how fresh can these possibly be, you know? Like, dude, like there's a very I'm not gonna say the name of the restaurant here in Nashville, even though we did just like call out Toots and Hooters and Bubba Gum Shrimp. But I do think that I question, and this is what I'm gonna say because it's not gonna I question that how fresh their seafood is because they are a seafood restaurant and they're very expensive. But I'm just like, man, I don't know, you know, it's like should you be charging that much for oysters that are that old? You know what I mean?
Maybe you're the one helping pay for the express shipping.
Am I
Yeah, that's why it's so expensive.
right? It's yeah, it's all it's the markup price on it. It's like, oh well,
Yeah.
we got to fly it in from Alaska or whatever. Where I don't know where oysters come from. The ocean, I guess. Well, obviously,
Yes.
that I guess they definitely do.
Wow. Smart.
You're gonna be like, you're gonna be like, now is Courtney? Is she smart? Or
People ask me, "Can you tell me about Courtney?" Well,
well, I
she did
mean,
have to question where oysters come from.
and she refuses to look anything up.
Courtney Google?
Yeah,
Never.
no, no, she's old fashioned. Just say that I'm an old soul, that I am confused and hateful. That's an old soul. I don't think I think I'm confused. I don't think I'm too I do like to be a hater sometimes. I think that's fun.
You think I
Yeah.
don't know that?
Oh, yeah, you think that's why one of the things we bonded over. Um, but no, I would definitely need to get out to a Bubba Gum Shrimp at some point, you know, I'll be in New Orleans at the end of the month. I wonder if they have I bet you they might have something like that there or have a chain have it there maybe.
Probably or nearby.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Although it's like I go to a city I've never been to with some of the best food in America, and I'm like, "Let me go to Bubba Gum Shrimp."
Yeah, let me go to a really terrible chain restaurant.
Yeah, yeah, sorry that you all wanna go get, like, really nice food somewhere else. It, like, probably costs the same amount of money, but I really wanna go to Bubba Gum Shrimp.
Yeah, I need to go to the restaurant from a movie from the 90s.
Oh, man. Although, dude, I totally feel you with, like, taking photos of, like, the memorabilia and stuff because I feel like because again, I came from, I wouldn't say that the people around me were the most cultured growing up, so we didn't know any better, but, like, we would go to, like a what is it, a Hollywood, or, like, Planet Hollywood or whatever, like, any of those, like,
Mhm.
restaurants, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's actually Paul McCartney's guitar," and it's like,
Yeah.
"That's his real guitar." And I'm like, "Courtney, you're a dumbass." But also, like, that's what the adults around me told me,
Yeah, you have to
you know?
believe adults.
Yeah, same with, like, the Ripley's Believe It or Not. I would go there and be like, "Isn't can you believe it?" It's like, "No, that's the whole point of the fucking museum."
Can you believe it? No.
No, I actually and I don't think anyone should.
Oh,
Mm.
man, I had this shirt from Bubba Gump's. It was my favorite shirt. It was a great shirt. It was a ringer tee,
Yeah.
mustard yellow, and then navy, but and
Ooh.
it said, "Stupid as stupid does," but it was
Aw.
like velvet. God, that was a great shirt.
Damn, that sounds like an awesome shirt.
I wish I still had it. Actually, I have it sewn into a t-shirt quilt so that I do have it
Yeah, but
forever.
that's awesome. I love a t-shirt quilt, you know? I'm gonna have to start doing that with my stuff because I just have so much shit, and I'm like, most of the shirts that I have aren't that sentimental to me, but they are because I like them, you know what I mean? Like I have a speaking of Pulp Fiction again, I have a Pulp Fiction one that I got from Target, like, 5 or 6 years ago that I just it's so soft and I wear it all the time, and it's like bought it for $10, you know, and on a whim because it looked cool and I, you know, wanted it and I had a little extra money that day. And, so but it has no actual value other than just sentimentality. So I feel you on that. So do you think that, like, with the comedy of Forrest Gump, do you think that inspired you as a comedian?
Ooh, maybe. I just feel like I only consumed comedy as a child. Uh, it was all I ever wanted to watch. I've never been into, like, action-y adventure stuff. I think that's boring. Sorry to those who like it, not my thing.
Damn.
I either wanna, like, cry laughing or cry, and
Yeah.
that's it. It probably did because I mean, Tom Hanks has other comedy movies, so, like, I saw Forrest Gump and I was like, "Who is this man?
Yeah,
Let me watch everything that he's ever done." But he does some serious stuff too.
he does, for
I
sure.
don't know. I do, I love comedy. I would hang out at my grandma's house. I shouldn't say these things about her, but she would whenever she would go to the bathroom for an extended amount of time, I'd be like, "Let me turn it on Comedy Central since I know it's gonna be a while." and I could watch a 30-minute
Oh
special while
my
she was
god,
gone.
for 30 minutes, holy shit. Literally, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, what was
Yeah,
happening in there?
literally a holy shit, maybe?
Maybe.
Who kno That's funny. No, I lived for the days that my parents would, like, have to drive my brother somewhere, or if my dad would just take a long time in the bathroom. I feel you with that for sure. I would say that your comedy I after rewatching Forrest Gump, I would say that I could see your comedy being affected by it, like, you do a really great job of telling a story and having, like, these stories with, like, detail, but it also doesn't, and it's not like a 10-minute long story. It gets to the point. I thinking specifically about you going bra shopping with your mom,
Oh, yeah.
where it's like
That one's
it's
been a hitter lately.
yeah, where it's so, but it's so, it's so rich with detail, and you're so to the point with it, but it's like but it's a bit where it's like and you can also, like, cut certain parts of it out if you need to and still get the point across, and I feel like, you listen to, like, Forrest Gump narrate his whole life story to on this bench, and I feel he really did cram a lot in 2 hours, like, Vietnam, JFK, AIDS epidemic,
Yeah.
he got a lot in there, but it's like but he didn't spare the details because he kept it moving.
He put every gory detail in there.
Lieutenant Dan, all
Uh,
of it. I mean, God, that
oh,
scene
yeah.
there's a scene where Lieutenant Dan is like, "I should have died, like, you robbed me from my fate," and it's
Yeah,
like
my destiny.
yeah, and it's like, damn, that is some real shit there too, which I'm sure, like,
Mhm.
especially when he's in the hospital and he's like, he realizes he doesn't have legs anymore, and it's like, "I guess I should have just died. Why am I still here? It's all your fault," and I think that's very real, you know what I mean? And it's like, you don't hear people talk about that either in really ever, where it's like, you think you're doing something good for someone, and ultimately it was good for him because he got engaged, he's got new legs, all that stuff. But at the time, it is like when you have people that try and help you out of a dark place or whatever, it's like, fuck, you blame them?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, but it's true though. I think that like that, the story about your wearing your mom's dress to to the 8th grade dance, like
Mm.
like your breakfast of boyfriends, I think like all those jokes, I think are just so they're so funny and there's like a pacing, like even like your timing, I think is very like there's a certain cadence that you have that I can see the influence from like this movie. Not necessarily like maybe not in how like the lines are delivered, but I think the way that it's like the way the scenes are structured, I can see
Mm.
that maybe subconsciously it's seeped into your brain of like, "Okay, like, this is how I consume a movie, this is how a movie is," and your comedy reminds me of, like, just, like, how the rhythm of things?
Oh, that's so cool. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I think yeah,
Thanks.
of course. I think every comedian, to my understanding, has someone that they're heavily influenced by. I think, like other comedians. You can kind of see it through their work or through their comedy and stuff. But also, I think you are the media that you consume a lot of the times too. And I can definitely see with the storytelling specifically. I can see that with Forrest Gump, and also I know you love Taylor Swift. We both love Taylor Swift. I could see that with the storytelling too of like sparing no detail, but also, like, bang it and keep it moving, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And, yeah, so I see that a lot in your work, and I hope that, like, getting to watch this movie and discuss this with you also has helped me get to know you better as well, I feel like. I get to see yeah, I kinda get more insight into who you are and, like, how you tick and, like, you seeing, like, "Oh, this is something that you love so much," and, yeah, it makes sense.
Man, I might have to go watch it after this.
Uh,
Make make Corey suffer.
Be like, "You're my fiancé now, you can't get away from this."
Yeah, we just go play video
Right, he's
games.
just like, "Oh,
That's
whatever."
alright. No, no.
But
I don't know if no, he really likes Forrest Gump too, and that's something that he and I bonded over when we first got together,
yeah.
actually.
Oh.
I don't know where they are right now, but I have these playing cards that also double as trivia of Forrest Gump that I
Oh.
got from Bubba Gump one
Oh,
time.
shout out. That got that
You
swag.
know, got that merch. That was something he and I did together when we first got together 'cause he we were talking about our favorite movies, and I was like, "Well, mine's Forrest Gump." And he was like, "Oh, it's one of my favorite movies." And I was like, "Prove it." You know? So, it
Oh,
was
you're not
just
like,
like
"Oh, that's so nice." Like, "Fucking prove it. Don't be a pussy."
yeah, I was like, "No one's better than me. No one likes it better than me." So, we would just have, like, a trivia off of who knows more about the movie,
Oh,
and I won.
of course you did, obviously. Yeah, I mean, no shit. Yeah, that's how
obviously.
you're on you're on this podcast and he's not. So, you
Yeah,
know.
yes. Yes.
But I think that's something really sweet too, because people, like when you date someone, you find, or in this case, you're engaged, you found the love of your life. I think that movies, yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this a bunch of times. Like Allie's engaged, guys. They're getting married. It's yeah. Look at it. I'll post
Crazy.
when I post about your episode. I won't post your headshot. I'll just post a picture of your ring.
Okay.
That'll just be it's like Allie Thomas, and then just like swipe to like one of your engaged.
That's
um,
fine.
but where is it going? Oh, so with meeting somebody that you like and eventually fall in love with, I think having movies, I think it's a good indicator on like if you're gonna get along, because I get that on one point it's like, oh, movies are like kind of superficial, like, oh, do you both like whatever, but I think you can tell a lot about a person. So I think if you have the same favorite movies as your significant other, I think you're gonna be a lot better off. That's actually kind of paraphrasing. I think Jim Jarmusch said something very similar about that too, where it's like couples who don't love the same movies together probably won't last very long. And I think that's kind of true.
Yeah, that's cool. 'Cause we have, like, mini posters of our favorite movies in our living room, which is something I wanted to do when we moved in together, so, like, we have Forrest Gump, obviously, and I tried to pick movies that we do both really like. Forrest Gump, Elf, Big Fish,
Oh,
Interstellar.
so good.
I think there's 2 more, but I can't remember what they are right now. 'Cause we love movies
Yeah,
so
we love
much.
them so much. Those are all fantastic picks. I hope one day someone says Big Fish for like their favorite for this podcast. Is that's such a good movie.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it? It's like, I'm in love with you, but you don't know me. Well, I have the rest of my life to find out. I think that's just like that. I think it's cute.
Mhm.
Kind of the opposite of what happens with Jenny and Forrest in this movie, where it's just,
Hell yeah.
you know, it's like, well, R.I.P. Anyway.
Yeah, I it's so interesting that this is my favorite movie and the way I grew up because
Mhm.
there are so many, like, adult themes and stuff in this movie. I mean, sex, drugs, alcohol, what have you, but I grew up, like, so sheltered.
Mhm.
Like, my parents were so strict, and I didn't party or anything in high school, like, didn't drink till college, whatever. But I'm sitting I'm sitting here watching Jenny get hammered.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just think it's so interesting that I was just like, "Well, that's the movies.
Yeah. Hey,
Can't
that's
do it in real life."
yeah. Would it be crazy if we could have sex in real life? Huh.
That'd be crazy.
That's crazy, but that's just the movies. That only happens in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think with Forrest Gump, 'cause it was similar for us too growing up, that I think because Forrest is such a moral character and such like a clean, squeaky clean cut guy, that I think that like parents are like, oh, he's a good influence. Even subconsciously, probably just let their kids. But at least I think in our case that was the case. Like, or like really
Yeah.
almost any Tom Hanks movie was pretty much a free pass. I feel like in our home, because
Mhm.
I think boomers fuck with Tom Hanks. I'll tell you that much. They
Oh, yeah.
love him. There
Oh, yeah.
there was, like, some, like, war movie that he was in, like, a couple years ago that was, like, on Apple, and, like, every like, I got it from my dad for Christmas, the DVD of it, and he was like, "Oh, it was a really good movie," and I'm just like, yeah, because it checks all the boxes of things that you wanna watch." It's just funny.
I love giving a DVD.
I do too. There's not I mean,
It's
it's
good.
kind of a lost art.
Yeah.
'Cause people love to give out, like, vinyl records now as gifts too, because that's had a resurgence, but I'm like, "Get someone a Blu-ray?" And then if they don't have a way to play it, that's their fucking problem.
Yeah, they'll figure that part out.
Yeah, yeah, Google Blu-ray. They're probably like
Google it.
yeah, Google. They're probably like $50 or if not cheaper at this point, you know?
Yeah, since the media is
Yeah.
the prices. They're like, "You can get a Blu-ray player for
Yeah,
$10."
they're crazy.
I don't know.
Or, like, I
But
mean, most people have, like, gaming consoles too that you can play, like, usually
oh,
play
yeah.
through an Xbox or whatever from my understanding. So people
From my
DVDs
unders
from my understanding I do understand. Um, so Allie, I have a couple more questions for you. This is like Usually with this podcast, we have 2 movies, and this one was 1, so this has definitely been really fun for me to go off of the structure and just have a fucking hang with my buddy, and talk
Yeah.
about movies and talk about toots and queefs.
All the good things in
Yeah,
life.
we're such intellectual.
Ugh,
But I do have
I
a couple.
promise we're smart.
We're really smart, I promise, we're smart people, and we're nice sometimes. Usually one of the questions I ask is, like, what are the correlations between your picks? But your correlation is that it is the same, and, I just wonder, like, why is I guess, like, obviously you mentioned other movies that you enjoy, like Big Fish, Interstellar, these other movies, but Forrest Gump, do you think it is a tinge of nostalgia, or do you think it just is, like, you still see a lot of yourself or you like or whatever in this movie? You know what I mean? Like, how has this stayed the test of time for you?
Definitely the nostalgia still, because I just think about little Allie getting,
Yeah.
like, so excited to, like, quote this movie. I probably thought it was, like, such a deep cut is what I probably thought was happening. In my small town, I'm like, "You guys know Forrest Gump?" They're like, "You mean the number 1 movie?" "Yeah."
Bro.
But I would just, like, pretty much I would, like, speak in Forrest Gump quotes. Or be like, "Can you just talk like a kid?" And I'm like,
No. Sorry.
stupid as stupid does,
Yeah.
so
No, no, ma'am, I can't do that.
mama always said." Uh,
Oh, so good.
like, yeah, it really just has stood the test of time for me. I mean, I have other favorite movies, but this one's just been up there for so long. It's so good.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, it holds up, I think it's just classic storytelling, and then I didn't realize it was also adapted from a book too, so I didn't realize
Mhm.
so then also the added challenge of, like, taking probably source material that's probably much longer than the movie and, like, condensing he really got everything in there, I feel like, covered every part of American history from that time period, you know? Um, and so I have
The
another
book is
have you read the book?
oh, I the thing the book is very different from the movie,
Mm.
and I didn't know this until a few years ago, and I started to read the book, and I was like, "This isn't it!"
Yeah.
Like, I got mad. I was
Like,
like,
"It's
"What do you
rubbish!"
mean?" Yeah, it's different. I wanna read the movie.
Yeah.
I don't want I don't wanna read something else.
The movies are I think in some instances, and I've not read Forrest Gump, so I don't wanna say that, but just as an example, I think some instances movies can be better than the book. Like, I think Princess Bride is better than the book. I do think The Shining is a better movie than the book, so, sometimes I think I wonder if Forrest Gump just might be that case, you know what I mean? Where it's like, "Well, how can you do it any better than this? You trimmed all the fat out, you know, you got to the point." So another question I have too, kinda these are like my rapid fire, it doesn't take us another 20 minutes to to answer these questions. I'm like Barbara Walters on the scene, but without the misogyny. Anyway. Um, if you could recast the entire movie with Muppets, but keep one human, who would it be, and who are some of the Muppets you would cast as the characters?
Oh, man. What human would I keep?
Yeah.
I would keep Lieutenant Dan. The only human. Gary Sinise hang out with a bunch of Muppets. Sounds like hell for him, but, like, cinematic glory.
Oh my god, that's so who would be so I guess would Kermit be Forrest?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, and then Jenny's Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
I love
I
you
want
too, Forrest.
I want Animal to be somebody, but I don't know who he would be.
Ooh, who would
Just
Animal
because I
be?
like that energy.
Just a
'Cause yeah, just crazy.
Yeah, who would Animal be? That's a good question. I don't know.
Probably Ginny's boyfriend
Mm,
in DC is
mm.
who I think Animal would be.
Oh, yeah, because he's like cool guy, whatever, and like Animal
Rude.
rude and giant piece of shit. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
I like that. I think Lieutenant Dan is a great choice. I could just see him like really getting angry at Kermit. being like, "This is my destiny," and Kermit's just like, "I'm just trying to help you." Like,
Yeah, exactly. Kermit's like, "Should I get out my guitar?"
right? Like, what do you want me to do? Should we start singing? Should we start making this a sing along? Hell yeah, I love your answer to that. I think I would have probably said Jenny, but I was like, "Oh, she'd have to fuck all these puppets, and I don't want her to do that."
Yeah, no.
I just like Robin Wright as an actress. I was like, "Oh, I liked watching her."
Mhm.
Um, and then what is your go-to movie snack and drink?
I gotta have popcorn. I'm a big movie movie equals popcorn
Mhm.
person. Like, even when I just saw the Taylor movie, I
Yeah.
was like, "I know this is, like, an hour and a half and mostly music, but gotta have that popcorn. Gotta have it." And then, like, either, like, a Diet Coke or Diet Dr. Pepper. Pretty plain.
Yeah. No, that's classic though. I mean, I feel like those are classics for a reason, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, I feel you with having I always have to have a little bev on hand no matter how short or long the movie is. Like, I went and saw a bunch of, like,
Mhm.
shorts at a festival for, like, a bunch of short films, and I was like, "We're gonna be here for, like, 40 minutes, but, I still gotta get my icy," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta be slurping away, like, "Oh, this is good cinema."
I've never been a candy at the movies
Mhm.
person, and then, like, now with all the options, I'm never gonna be like, "Yeah, let me get popcorn chicken to watch this movie." That just, like, feels so crazy to me.
Dude, oh my god, so I remember when I saw Star Wars Rogue One, it was, like, one of the first spin-off movies that, like, came out, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 10 years ago at this point or whatever, and I think I ordered, like, a hot dog, and I had a hot dog, and I had chicken wings, and I had, something else with it, and I got sick 'cause I ate it all. And I was like, "I'll never do that again at the movie." I'm like, "Why did I get chicken wings at the movie theater? Like, why did I think this was a good idea?" You know? So I feel you on all the options now. Like, I mean, they have a full bar, which is I just sneak in my alcohol. Sorry, you got to. I'm not gonna pay $30 for a glass of wine, you know? I don't even pay that much for a bottle of wine, so
Yeah, Courtney's got the bag
Oh, yeah.
in her purse.
The battery, yes! Oh my god, in college, I
Oh,
remember it was me, and a bunch of friends, and we went and saw, like, I think American Hustle. No, we saw Frozen, a completely different movie.
those are so different.
And we stuck in a bag of wine because my friend took it out of the box, and she stuffed it she had, like, her little backpack with her, and then she's like she whipped it out, or she's like, "Look what I got." We're like, "Oh my god." Like, we were hammered during Frozen, but man, that was fun.
That sounds like a good way to watch Frozen.
Yeah, we were toasty while watching Frozen, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Allie, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for doing my podcast and for coming and
Yeah.
talking about Forrest Gump. And also just like, it's just really cool that like, this is like your first movie you've ever seen is also your favorite. Like, that's just really, and like, it's just really cool. No, but it's just such a cool, rare treat. And as a cinephile, that's like a gift that you have, it's like, what a gift to have that like your first movie you remember is your favorite and has been with you. I feel like it's kinda probably aged with you, you pick up on different things,
Oh, yeah.
every time you watch it, like, from a kid and even as an adult where you're at in life, it's just one of those movies that just gives it's a gift that keeps on giving. But anyway
Definitely.
so Allie, thank you again, and where can people find you and what do you have going on?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at awk_Allie, 'cause awkward. I'm selling it right now. I mostly use Instagram. Don't follow me anywhere else.
Don't follow me.
No, I mean, you can, but I don't use them as often. What am I up to? I do stand-up, I do improv, you can catch me at Third Coast Comedy Club.
Well, hell yeah, dude. Well, Allie, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for doing the podcast, and thank you for sharing
Yes.
your core memories with me. This is
Man.
hey, I said the title there. uh,
Title.
I said the title. Well, audience, thank you so much for listening, and we'll check back in next week, and we'll see. Oh, we'll see you all, and hopefully hear from you all soon. This has been Core Memory, a podcast about movies, and I'm your host, Cortney Warner. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Please feel free to like and subscribe on anywhere that you get your podcasts. Would absolutely love the support on there. If you enjoyed today's episode and any of our other episodes, also we are on Instagram at Core Memory Pod. Please feel free to give us a follow on there as well if you want any behind the scenes tidbits or any kind of fun visuals on there. And again, thank you for listening, and we hope that you'll listen again soon.